We rolled back into Elmwood Grove, suitcases thumping, when Sam poked his head over the fence, face tight. "Jake, there's a thing with Lori and your pool." My gut flipped. "What thing?" He winced. "HOA Karen threw a party while you were gone. Big one. At your place. Hurt herself and now she's suing you." Emma's eyebrows shot up. "Suing us?" I grabbed the papers, medical bills, unsafe yard claims. "Lori trespassed, trashed my pool, and now wanted my cash?" "Oh, hell no. Could you draw me 29 likes? It's a huge boost for me, and I'm so grateful for you all. Let's dive into this revenge tale together." The sun hung low over my backyard, casting a golden shimmer across the pool's surface, the water rippling like it was winking at me. I leaned back in my deck chair, a cold beer sweating in my hand, the faint hum of cicadas filling the air. This was my spot, my slice of paradise in Elmwood Grove, a tidy little HOA neighborhood where the houses sat close, but the folks mostly kept to themselves. I'd had the pool put in a couple summers back, a rectangle of cool blue that turned my yard into the go-to hangout. Friends would swing by, neighbors too sometimes, splashing and grilling till the stars came out. I'm a social guy, love a good laugh, a good crowd, but at the end of the day, it's my house, my pool, my rules. Simple as that. Living in an HOA came with its quirks, sure. You'd get the occasional note about trimming hedges or parking straight, but I'd always shrugged it off. My place was neat enough, and I wasn't hurting anybody. Most folks around here were fine. Wave over the fence types who'd chat if you bumped into him at the mailbox. Except for Lori. She was the HOA's self-appointed queen bee, always strutting around with her nose up, barking about rules that didn't exist. She'd corner you with that fake sweet smile, blonde hair bouncing just above her shoulders, and lecture about community standards like she wrote the book. Nobody liked her much, but she didn't care. She thrived on being right, even when she was dead wrong. It was late June when Emma and I decided to get out of Dodge for a week. We've been itching for a break, somewhere with sand, sun, and no emails. Thailand was the pick. Cheap flights, warm beaches, and a chance to unplug. We locked up the house, left the keys with a neighbor to water the plants, and jetted off. I didn't think twice about the pool. Figured it'd be waiting for us, quiet and clean, when we got back. The trip was a dream. Toes in the sand, spicy street food. Emma laughing as we dodged monsoon rains under a rickety umbrella. I sent a few pics to friends, posted a sunset or two, and let the world fade away. We rolled back into Elmwood Grove on a muggy Sunday, tires crunching the driveway, suitcases thumping behind us. The house looked fine, grass a little long, but nothing crazy. I was halfway through unloading when our neighbor, Sam, poked his head over the fence, his face all tight and apologetic. "Jake, man, we gotta talk," he said, scratching his neck. "There's a thing with Lori and your pool." My stomach did a little flip. "What kind of thing?" I asked, setting the bag down slow. Sam sighed. "She threw a party while you were gone. Big one. At your place." I blinked, the words not quite sinking in. "A party? At my pool?" Sam nodded, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Yeah, she told everybody you were cool with it. Invited half the block. Got messy, too. She hurt herself, and now she's suing you." Emma stepped up beside me, eyebrows shooting up. "Suing us? For what?" Sam winced. "Medical bills. Says she tripped, blames your unsafe yard. Papers came yesterday. Thought you should know." I stood there, heat creeping up my neck, the beer I'd been dreaming of forgotten. Lori had waltzed onto my property, thrown some bash, and now had the gall to sue me? Emma grabbed my arm, her voice low. "What the hell, Jake? She can't do that, can she?" I shook my head, jaw tight. "She did, and she's gonna regret it." Sam filled us in quick. Neighbors had seen the whole thing, felt awful for buying Lori's lie that I'd greenlit it. They'd partied, sure, but when Lori went down, it turned ugly fast. Ambulance lights, shouting, the works. I stormed inside, grabbed the lawsuit papers off the counter, and skimmed the nonsense. Claims about negligence, hazardous conditions, her leg all banged up. My pool, my pride, twisted into her weapon. I tossed the papers down, anger bubbling hot. Lori thought she could trespass, trash my place, then play victim? Nah, not on my watch. I'd dealt with bigger bullies in my time, and I wasn't about to let her win. Emma, I said, turning to her, we're fighting this. All the way. She grinned, fierce as ever. Damn right we are. The rain might have been pounding in Thailand, but the real storm was brewing right here, and I'd make sure Lori felt every drop. The kitchen smelled of coffee and jet lag as I hunched over the lawsuit papers, the words blurring into a smug little script of Lori's making. Emma leaned against the counter, sipping tea, her dark hair still damp from the shower. The rain tapped a soft rhythm on the windows, a leftover echo of Thailand, but my mind was stuck on the pool out back. My pool, now some kind of crime scene in Lori's twisted story. Sam's rundown had left me reeling. A party, a fall, a lawsuit, all while we'd been sipping cocktails half a world away. I needed the full picture, and I wasn't waiting for Lori's lawyer to paint it for me. I grabbed my phone and dialed Sam, pacing the tile floor. Hey man, I said when he picked up, tell me everything, every detail you've got about that night. Sam sighed, like he'd been dreading this. All right, Jake, but it's a mess. Lori showed up last Thursday, all dolled up in that red top she wears, knocking on doors, saying you told her to throw a community bash at your place. Said it was fine since your HOA and all. I snorted, cutting him off. Community bash? I didn't tell her squat. I was in Thailand. Sam groaned. Yeah, we figured that later, but she sold it good. Said you texted her the okay. He went on, voice dropping low. Folks showed up, maybe 20, 30 people. Kids splashing, music blaring, grills going. Looked legit till it didn't. Lori was the ringleader, strutting by the pool, drink in one hand, joint in the other. She was loud, sloppy, yelling about how this was her HOA turf now. Then it went south. She tripped near the edge, scraped her leg bad on the concrete lip. Blood everywhere, party over. Ambulance came, and she was screaming about your death trap pool the whole way out. I stopped pacing, gripping the phone tight. She was drunk and high. On my property. Emma's eyes widened, tea forgotten. She's got some nerve, she muttered. Sam kept going. Yeah, neighbors saw it. Felt awful once they realized you weren't in on it. She duped us, Jake. Next thing, she's suing you. Says it's your fall cause it's your yard. I thanked him, hung up, and turned to Emma, the pieces clicking into a picture uglier than I'd imagined. Lori hadn't just trespassed. She'd thrown a full-on rager, trashed my rules, and now wanted me to foot the bill for her stupidity. I stepped out back, the air sticky with summer heat, and stared at the pool. It looked innocent enough, blue water lapping the sides, a few leaves floating lazy on top. But I could see it now, Lori stumbling, her red top flashing as she flailed, the splash and scrape that ended her night. My rules were clear when I hosted. No drugs, no wild stuff, just good vibes. I'd seen too many poolside disasters in my day to let that slide. She'd ignored all of it, turned my sanctuary into her playground, and thought she could pin the mess on me. Emma joined me, wrapping an arm around my waist. So, she breaks in, parties, hurts herself, and we're the bad guys. I nodded, jaw tight. That's her game. Play victim, cash in. She's banking on that old property owner's liable rule. Emma frowned. Even when she wasn't supposed to be here. I shrugged. Doesn't matter to her. She's got that HOA ego. Thinks she's untouchable. I grabbed my laptop, pulling up pics from the trip, timestamps, receipts, proof we were gone. She admitted I didn't know. Sam said, that's trespassing, plain and simple. We've got neighbors who'll back us up. She's got nothing but her word. Emma grinned, fierce as a storm. Then we fight. Hit her back harder. I nodded, the fire in me flaring. Oh, we will. I'm countersuing, trespassing, damages whatever sticks. She wants a war. She's got one. The rain picked up outside, drumming the roof, but I barely heard it. Lori thought she could waltz in, wreck my peace, and walk away richer. She didn't know me, didn't know the guy who'd built this life, rule by rule, and guarded it like a hawk. I'd hosted plenty of parties, paid plenty of bills, but I'd never let a bully take what's mine. This pool was my turf, and I'd make damn sure she regretted stepping foot in it. The morning sun sliced through the blinds, painting stripes across the kitchen table where I sat, surrounded by a mess of papers and coffee mugs. Emma was out back, checking the pool for any signs of Lori's chaos, scratches, stains, anything we could use. I'd spent the night digging into our defense, phone buzzing with texts from neighbors ready to spill their side of the story. Lori's lawsuit stared up at me from the counter, big words about negligence and liability, all pinned on me because her dumb ass tripped on my property. But I wasn't just dodging her swing. I was swinging back, and I'd make it count. Sam stopped by early, a manila envelope tucked under his arm, his flannel shirt wrinkled like he'd slept in it. Got statement from a few folks, he said, sliding the envelope over. They're pissed at Lori, wrote down what they saw. I flipped it open, scanning the pages, neat handwriting from Mrs. Carter across the street, a typed note from the guy next door. She told us Jake approved it, Mrs. Carter wrote. I saw her stumble, drunk as hell, right by the pool, screaming about suing before the ambulance even got here. I grinned, handing it to Emma as she walked in, her sandals clicking on the tile. Gold, I said. Pure gold. Emma skimmed it, her eyes lighting up. They've got her dead to rights. She lied to everyone. I nodded, pulling up the pics from Thailand on my laptop. Us on the beach, Emma laughing with a mango smoothie, timestamps proving we were gone. She can't say I let her in. I wasn't even here. And Sam heard her admit it. Sam rubbed his neck, sheepish. Yeah, she bragged about taking over your pool. Thought it was funny till she ate concrete. I snorted. Funny's over now. I called my buddy Tony, a lawyer who'd handled small stuff for me before, speeding tickets, a lease dispute years back. His voice crackled through, gruff but warm. Jake, what's this mess about a pool and a lawsuit? I laid it out, Lori's party, her fall, her suing me for bills, my plan to countersue. She trespassed Tony, threw a rager, got hurt, and now she's playing victim. I've got witnesses, proof I was out of town, everything. He chuckled, low and mean. Sounds like she screwed herself. Send me what you've got. I'll draft the countersuit. Trespassing, emotional distress, maybe property damage if we can swing it. Court will eat her alive. Emma and I spent the day gathering ammo. She snapped pics of the pool. Clean, no hazards, just a faint scuff on the edge where Lori must have gone down. I dug out old HOA emails. Lori's rants about standards, none mentioning my pool as unsafe. Sam rounded up more neighbors. A guy named Pete sent a video, grainy, but you could hear Lori slurring, "This is our pool now," before a splash and a yelp. Every piece tightened the noose around her neck. She'd walked in thinking she owned the place, and I'd make sure she limped out empty-handed. By dusk, we sat on the porch, the air cooling as crickets kicked up their song. Emma sipped a lemonade, her bare feet propped on the railing. Think she'll back off once she sees this? She asked, nodding at the stack of evidence beside me. I shook my head, cracking a beer. Nah, Lori's too stubborn. She'll fight till the judge shuts her down. Thinks she's smarter than everyone. Emma smirked. Her funeral. I leaned back, staring at the pool glinting under the porch light. It looked peaceful now, but I could still picture her, red top flashing, staggering by the water, turning my haven into her stage. She'd crossed a line, not just onto my land, but into my life, trying to twist or screw up into my burden. I'd always been a laid-back guy. Host a party, share a laugh, but mess with what's mine, and I turn into someone else. Tony had the papers rolling. Court was coming. Lori wanted to play hardball? Fine, I'd hit harder. The stars winked on, one by one, and I felt the calm before the storm settled in. This wasn't just about money or a scraped leg. It was about standing up to a bully who thought she could steamroll me. My pool, my rules, my fight. Lori had no idea what she'd unleashed, but she'd find out soon enough. The courtroom smelled like polished wood and old paper, a stuffy little space tucked inside Elmwood Grove's municipal building. I sat on a hard bench, Emma beside me, her hand resting light on my knee. Tony stood up front, shuffling papers, his tie knotted loose like he'd rolled out of bed ready to brawl. Across the aisle, Lori perched ramrod straight, blonde hair pulled tight, her red top swapped for a stiff blazer that didn't hide the scowl on her face. Her lawyer, a twitchy guy with slick back hair, kept whispering in her ear, but she barely nodded, just stared ahead, like she could will the judge into seeing her side. My pool flashed in my mind, That cool blue turned sour by her stunt, and I tightened my grip on the armrest. This ended today. The judge banged his gavel, a stocky man with a voice like gravel. Johnson versus Carter. Liability claim and countersuit. Let's hear it. Tony stepped up, calm as a lake before a storm. Your Honor, my client, Jake Johnson, owns the property, a backyard pool, his pride and joy. While he and his wife were on vacation, Ms. Lori Carter trespassed through an unauthorized party, injured herself, and now seeks medical damages. We've got proof, witness statements, travel records, video. She had no permission. She's liable, not him. He slid our stack across. Sam's pics, Pete's clip, my Thailand timestamps, all laid out neat. Lori's lawyer jumped in, voice high and fast. Your Honor, Ms. Carter acted in good faith. Mr. Johnson's an HOA member. The pool's on HOA land. Fair game for community use. She tripped due to an unsafe edge. Owner's responsible. He waved a photo of her leg, bandaged and bruised, like it'd win him sympathy. The judge squinted, unimpressed. HOA land? Show me the deed saying that pool's communal. The lawyer fumbled, handing over some flimsy HOA pamphlet. It's implied, community standards. Tony snorted loud enough for the room to hear. Implied? That's not law. That's trespassing. The judge turned to the screen, Pete's video flickering on. Lori's voice cut through, slurred and sharp. This is our pool now. A splash, a yelp, then chaos. Neighbors gasping as she hit the deck. The room went quiet, her own words hanging her out to dry. Tony pounced. She admits it. No consent, no invite. Witnesses saw her drunk, high, stumbling around. She broke in, broke the law, and broke her own leg. Jake's not paying a dime. Counter suing for trespassing and distress. Lori's face twitched, her lawyer whispering frantic, but she shoved him off, glaring at the judge like he'd betrayed her. The judge leaned forward, flipping through our stuff. Mrs. Carter's note, my clean pool pics. Ms. Carter, why were you on this man's property without permission? Lori shot up, voice shrill. It's an HOA home. The pool's for all of us. I got hurt. They're liable. The judge cut her off, sharp. That's not how it works. This ain't public land. It's his. Trespassing's trespassing, and liability don't stretch to illegal guests. She sputtered, but the law says, he raised a hand. Law says you don't get a free pass for breaking in. Pool's safe. Inspections check out. Sit down. Her lawyer tried salvaging it, mumbling about shared responsibility, but the judge wasn't having it. Enough. Ruling's simple. Carter's claims dismissed. No evidence of negligence. Plenty of trespassing. Johnson's countersuit granted. Misdemeanor charge for Ms. Carter. Restraining order issued. $500 in damages for distress. The gavel cracked, and a murmur rippled through the gallery. Neighbors nodding, a few smirking. Lori's face went red, fists clenched, but she stayed silent, her lawyer dragging her back to her seat. Emma squeezed my hand, grinning fierce. We got her, she whispered. I nodded, the knot in my chest loosening. Tony clapped my shoulder as we filed out, sunlight hitting us on the steps. She dug her own hole. Jake, judge saw right through it. I glanced back, catching Lori storming off, her blazer flapping like a wounded bird. She'd come for my wallet and left with a record, poetic almost. Back home, I stood by the pool, water glinting clean and quiet. It was mine again, no trace of her mess, just the hum of summer settling in. Lori thought she could bully me, twist my home in her payout. She'd misread the guy who'd fought bigger battles than her petty games. Court was done, but I wasn't. Not yet. A little revenge was still bubbling, and I'd serve it cold. The sun blazed high over Elmwood Grove, turning my backyard into a shimmering oasis as July rolled in hot and heavy. The pool sparkled like a jewel, water lapping gentle against the sides. No trace left of Lori's fiasco, just clean, cool blue. Emma and I stood on the deck, surveying the scene, a couple of iced teas sweating in our hands. The courtroom wind still buzzed in my veins. Lori's case trashed, her trespassing on record, a restraining order keeping her leashed. She'd slunk back to her house across the street, blind snapped shut, but I wasn't done. I'm a petty revenge guy at heart, and she'd handed me the perfect chance to twist a knife. "Party time?" Emma asked, her grin wicked as she clinked her glass against mine. "Oh, hell yeah," I said, already picturing it. Lori wanted to play queen of my pool. I'd show her what a real bash looked like without her. We got to work. Invites went out to every neighbor who'd backed us, Sam and Pete spearheading the guest list. Grills fired up, speakers thumped, and by midweek, the yard was alive with laughter and splashing. Kids cannonballed into the deep end, burgers sizzled, and cold beers passed hand to hand. I manned the grill, flipping patties, the smoky tang mixing with chlorine in the air, a summer symphony. Across the street, Lori's house stayed dark, but I caught the twitch of her curtains now and then. She couldn't come near, restraining order said so, but I knew she was watching, stewing in her own sour juice. Good. Sam sidled up, a beer in hand, nodding toward her place. "Think she's mad yet?" he asked, smirking. "Mad's an understatement," I said, flipping a burger high. "She's banned from the fun. Best revenge there is." He laughed, clinking his bottle against my spatula. "You're evil, Jake." I grinned. "Just petty enough." The parties kept coming, every weekend, sometimes midweek too, the pool a revolving door of good vibes. Emma strung fairy lights around the deck, turning night swims into something magical, the water glowing under their twinkle. Neighbors brought potlucks, Mrs. Carter's deviled eggs, Pete's killer salsa, and we'd crank the music till the stars popped out. One night, I caught Lori's silhouette in her window, arms crossed, glaring like a grounded kid. I raised my beer in a mock toast, knowing she couldn't do a damn thing but fume. She dropped the curtain fast, and Emma chuckled beside me. That's got a sting. Summer stretched on, and the grand finale hit in August, a blowout to end all blowouts. Every neighbor showed, even folks from down the block, the yard packed with chatter and splashing. We rented a bounce house for the kids, fired up 2 grills, and set up a makeshift bar with lemonade and cheap whiskey. The pool was a riot. Floaties bobbing, water guns blasting, laughter bouncing off the fence. I dove in, the cool shock washing away the last of Lori's shadow, and surfaced to Emma cheering from the edge. "King of the pool," she yelled, tossing me a beach ball. I caught it, grinning wide. Lori's absence was the cherry on top. She'd tried to crash my world, and now she was the outcast, stuck watching from her cage. Sam told me later she'd griped to the HOA, whining about noise violations, but they'd shut her down. Her record killed her clout. The misdemeanor stuck, her lawyer bills piled up, and word was she'd started packing boxes. Good riddance. My pool wasn't just back. It was better, louder, alive with people who'd pick my side over her lies. As the last party wound down, stars thick overhead, I floated on my back, the water cradling me like an old friend. Emma splashed nearby, her laugh cutting through the quiet. The yard was trashed, cups scattered, grill smoldering, but it felt right lived in mine. Lori had come for my peace, thinking she could bully her way in. She'd tripped, fallen, and lost everything. Her case, her pride, her summer. Me? I turned her mess into my win. Every splash a middle finger to her chaos. Revenge wasn't just sweet, it was ice-cold, poolside, and damn satisfying. This was my turf, my rules, and I played him better than she ever could. And that's the tale. Lori's party crashed, her lawsuit flopped, and Jake's pool became the summer's hottest spot, leaving her sidelined in her own misery. From trespassing tyrant to restraining order reject, she learned the hard way. Don't mess with a man's home. Thanks for riding this revenge wave with me. I hope it splashed you with as much fun as it did me. Here's the takeaway. Stand your ground when bullies barge in, because what's yours is worth the fight. Liable? Nah, live bold instead. Love this. Drop a subscribe. It's a big boost for me, and I'm so grateful for you all. Share your petty revenge wins below, and stick around. More HOA chaos is coming your way. Catch you next time. Keep ruling your turf.